Mr. Musk, how are you?
Congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you very much. Thank
Hey.
you.
Those Merlin engines are fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, good idea for an electric jet.
You do?
Yeah.
Then we'll make it work.
So there's a lot you can say about Elon Musk. He's the wealthiest man in the world on paper, even though he states Putin is far wealthier than he.
Well, I think Putin is significantly richer than me.
He is among others whose wealth doesn't come from public or private companies. He's conquered industries that seem to be unconquerable. When most people look to start a company, they delve into an industry that has the least competition. They don't look at the oldest industries with the powerful hierarchies and massive regulation from the government. But that's what Musk has done. Going into banking with PayPal, the automobile industry with Tesla, and the space industry with SpaceX. The space industry wasn't even really an industry, as it was monopolized by various governments around the world who wanted to venture into space and had the money to do so. Musk, with his company SpaceX, has dramatically reduced the costs of exploration while improving innovation by light years compared to where it was headed with only governments at the helm. The automotive industry was dominated by Ford, Honda, Toyota, GM, and other companies and had been dominated by these companies for decades. What most people don't understand is that regulation hurts the startup more than it hurts the old, entrenched company who has the capital to hire the right lawyers and even former lawmakers to navigate the slew of regulation aimed at stunting growth, making money for politicians, and often maintaining those at the top and deterring those coming up. To start a car company in this day and age and to bring it to be the most valuable car company on the planet, even after other companies received government bailouts right when you were starting out in 2008, is wildly unlikely and incredible. But this is what Musk does. He goes into areas he feels are important, regardless of the odds of success, which is a telling trait when you're trying to understand how he thinks. And why should we understand how he thinks?
Some people think I'm an alien.
Well, because he clearly thinks in a better fashion than most of the timid, scared, closed-minded souls of this wonderful planet. I believe what Naval Ravikant believes when he says that everyone can be rich.
Yes, everybody can be rich.
There is so much money out there and more ways to make it than ever before that if people would remove the blinders that are seeing the improbable or even difficult as impossible, we would all be better off. If you saw the world just a little bit more like Musk, your life would be just a little bit better and the possibilities would be just a little bit greater. So let's take some lessons from the richest man in the world, a guy who's self-made and who's created his wealth by conquering old industries dominated by massive corporations and even governments themselves. He seems to see the improbability of success, but goes forward anyway. So how to think like Elon Musk. Lesson number 1, do it anyway. In Musk's words, I was at lunch with Munger in 2009 where he told the whole table all the ways that Tesla would fail. This is what Elon said in a reply tweet. It made me quite sad, but I told him I agreed with all those reasons and that we would probably die, but it was worth trying anyway. Most people deal with criticism by getting defensive. Most people deal with criticism from someone they respect and admire by quitting. Let's say you had a mentor, someone who's achieved what you want to achieve, who's helped you along with your career and decisions. You admire this man. One day, a few years into building your company, your dream, your baby, the thing you've given your heart and soul to, this mentor tells you that you're gonna fail. Heck, let's bring this down a notch to things that most of us have actually dealt with. You're trying out for your high school basketball team. You love basketball. You really respect the coach. He's a former pro, a figure of authority, and he tells you that there's really no point in your trying out because you're likely going to fail. You're not going to make the team. Well, Charlie Munger is one of the wisest men on the planet. He's a virtual mentor to millions of driven men who listen to his speeches on YouTube or read his famous book, Poor Charlie's Almanac. If you don't know who he is, he's Warren Buffett's billionaire business partner. He's a wise man, intelligent, logical, and even for Musk, hearing from him that your business will fail had to be a big blow. And he even says that it made him quite sad.
You must be thinking about Elon Musk.
That, however, didn't deter Musk. Far less deters each and every one of us. We hit a roadblock, our sales decline, we don't get the promotion we wanted and maybe even deserve, so we quit. We allow little roadblocks or words from small people to deter our level of effort and commitment. Musk recognized the unlikelihood of his and his company's success.
The reality is pretty messed up.
But he thought that unlikelihood was enough. As Jim Carrey said in Dumb and Dumber, if there's a chance, no matter how minuscule or unlikely it may be, you have to try anyway.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
This also brings in the concept of a strong why. Friedrich Nietzsche said, He who has a strong enough why can bear almost any how. If Musk didn't think building a fleet of electric cars was important, he wouldn't push through the horrible odds of success. If he didn't think multiplanetary living for humans was important, he wouldn't push through with SpaceX and their seemingly insurmountable odds. Your why doesn't have to be saving humanity. It can be uplifting your family out of poverty, providing your kids with a life that you never had, being the first in your family's history to become a millionaire, a billionaire, or the first in your family to not be obese. Your why is personal, but it has to mean something to you, or else you won't push through to the end. This can hang on your worldview as well. If you truly and deeply believe you're here to reach your potential, that this is the purpose of life, then you're going to do everything you can to reach that potential, even if you don't love what you're doing in the moment. There's also the aspect of doing versus not doing. People can go their entire lives thinking about what they should do. They may have great and grand ideas, but by the time they reach their deathbed, their only companion is regret because they never did. They only thought or dreamed or wished. It is better to try something than to not try at all. It is far better to try something that's unlikely or even admittedly impossible than it is to try nothing at all. So if you have an idea, a dream, a goal, do it. Try even if failure is the most likely result, because it's a better use of your time, effort, energy, and life to pursue something difficult than it is to do nothing. How to think like Elon Musk, lesson number 2. Be a concerned optimist. In a TED interview, Musk said that you have to be optimistic about the future, but also concerned. There's a duality there that Jim Collins covers in his book, Good to Great. Collins called it productive paranoia. You're not so paranoid that you stop working and spend your time worrying, but you're not so optimistic that you do nothing because you think the future will simply work out regardless of what you do. Be an optimist.
A lot of people are sad about the future. They're pessimistic, and I think this is not great. I mean, we really want to wake up in the morning and look forward to the future. We want to be excited about.
Pessimism leads to quitting. If you think the end will turn out horribly, you'll quit. Blind optimism leads one to not do the hard work required for success because they see success as a matter of fate, not of cause and effect. Being purely concerned makes you stressed and ineffective. What you need is a blend of optimism and concern, or as Collins puts it, productive paranoia. To hold the duality of viewpoints makes you powerful. You get the upside of optimism without its downside, as well as the upside of paranoia without its downside. Lesson number 3 on how to think like Elon Musk: foster your imagination. When we aim to become wiser and smarter, often our imagination suffers. We become more logical, more rational in how we think and act, but we lose the creativity that creation depends on. Musk clearly hasn't lost his imagination aspect, all the while becoming more intelligent, rational, and wise. This might not be something you practice, but something you should be aware of. Always be thinking about possibilities without probabilities. When we become more rational, which is a must, we often see future events or creations in terms of probabilities. This can be great for hedging the negative aspects of the downside. When you start fretting about a possible negative outcome, being rational will help you see the uselessness of worrying about something before it happens, while also seeing the true likelihood of it happening. For the upside, we don't always need these probabilities. Sometimes we just need to dream. We need to allow our imagination to conjure up the impossible and improbable rather than shying away from it, because over our lifetime, we've been taught a skewed view of what truly is possible. Musk is showing us a different kind of upside, as are many other entrepreneurs and scientists, when they do that which no one else would even try because of the odds of success. So in conclusion, if you want to live a great life, which we're all trying to do, your task is to pursue your potential. The problem is that none of us have any clue just how great we can be. Our imagination can formulate that being we could be because of who we've been told we are and who we've been trained to be thus far. We have a very degraded view of our potential, in other words, based on what we've been told and what we've been taught before in life up to this point. So taking worldviews and mental models and ways of thinking from people who've achieved truly great and awe-inspiring things, even in pure wealth creation terms, and realizing they're just humans like us, opens our minds to that potential just a little bit more.
You gotta be kidding me.
Sorry?
You're Elon Musk.
I am?
Adopting the modes of thinking we've covered in this video, doing it anyway, being a concerned optimist, and fostering a flourishing imagination, will inevitably help you lead a much better, daring, and even exciting life. One you'll look back on with fondness rather than regret. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and click the like button below. I'll be back with more soon. Take care.